Hello artists! We are going to be making one of these candle holders, which is basically a slab pot with cutouts. This is an example of one that has had glaze put on it. You can put candles in these and they can shine the shapes through, and you can see we're reusing the shapes we cut on the sculpture. Here's examples of one that has a couple different cutouts on it. This one has a couple different cutouts on it. Here's one with all the same cutout. And then this one has the same cutout. You can see all the detail that was added later. Okay, so to start with, we are going to have table paper, a big old chunk of clay, a template, and a butter knife, some slip, and then I have this tray full of cutouts. I personally think that these are easier when your cutout is smaller. When you have a really big cutout, it's a little harder. So, to start with, I'm going to smush my pottery. Am I slapping it? Am I slapping it? No, I'm not slapping it. I don't need to. I'm smushing. We don't need slappers, we need smushers. And then I'll roll it over, smush the other side, and this is a stand-up do-it type thing. You can't really do it sitting down, you don't have enough leverage. Okay, so then, once I've got that done, then when I get my rolling pin, I'm going to roll it like this. Okay, I'm not rolling it like this. I got my hands on the barrel, and I'm just rolling. I'm gonna flip it over, roll this side. And this is called a slab. It's a flat piece of clay. All right. And I want this to be about as thick as my finger. So as I'm looking at this piece of clay, it's about as thick as my finger. All right, and it's even. I don't have thick spots and thin spots. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is put my template on here, and I'm going to just cut it out with my butter knife. There we go. And all of this stuff goes back in the bucket. There's my slab. So I'm thinking kind of fall stuff. So I've got this kind of apple shape. And so when I go to cut my shape out, I don't want to get 2 fingers from the bottom or 2 fingers from the side cut, okay? So the closest I can go to the side would be here. The closest I can go to the top would be here. So you kind of want to keep them in the middle, and you don't want to get 2 finger widths together. So if I put one here, this would be the closest the next one would be. And we do that so that our structure is more sound, and when we put it into a cylinder, it doesn't collapse on us as easily. So I'm gonna start, I think I'll put one here. And I want to keep these. I don't want to let these go. And I think I'll put one that goes right along the bottom. I like that. And I'm gonna have another texture that goes right along the top. And you don't have to have a texture. If you're like, I don't want a texture, then don't put a texture in. Okay, then the next step is I'm going to reapply these to my piece. So I'm going to take my mud, this is slip, this is the glue for clay. I'm going to scratch a little on, scratch where it's going, and just stick it on. So scratch, scratch. Actually, I want it right here. Put it on. And then when it's rested, I'm gonna pick it up and I'm going to put this into a cylinder like this. Get my glue again, scratch the seam, put the seam together, just line that up, just like so. I can't see what I'm doing here. There we go. And I'm not going to work real hard at getting this perfect. I just want it in a cylinder like this so it can rest like that. Now I'm gonna make the foot of the pot. So that would be the bottom of the pot. So I'm gonna start with a ball like this. Let's move this aside. I'm gonna start with a ball. I'm gonna smush the ball. And again, I'm not pounding, just smushing. I'm not using my rolling pin. I don't really need my rolling pin right now. Okay, now I gotta take this and put it upside down because I'm putting the foot on this. So let's see if this will fit. Yep, it fits. Okay, so now I'm gonna scratch where it's going with the slip. This is called scoring when you scratch, and the slip is where the glue that goes into the score marks to make it stick together. And then I'll just put this on right here. And then I'm gonna flip it over, give it a little tap, and then flip it back. Do a little blending. And you can see that my foot did not fit perfectly on the bottom, but it fit good enough. And now I just blended it on. And this is a good place for me to write my name. There we go. I'll flip it back over. So now I need to just refine the pot a little bit. And this seam right here, I'm not happy with it yet. Just want to fill that in. Blend it a little. There we go. That looks better. I think the foot's pretty good. That looks good. And then I just want to make sure that this is exactly the way I want it. So I'm gonna rub this a little smoother.
Hey kids, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to Middle School Art Mania and be a maniac.